Iran launched a massive attack on Israeli territory on Monday evening, local time. The attack involved dozens of Bironak-type ballistic missiles, reportedly equipped with separable warhead systems and featuring high precision and range. The strike directly hit several strategic targets, including military bases, defense headquarters, and critical infrastructure in central and southern Israel. The Israeli Ministry of Defense confirmed in a brief statement that its air defense systems intercepted several missiles, but the volume and speed of the missiles launched by Iran exceeded the maximum capacity of the Iron Dome and David's sling systems. We faced a multi-stage, high-precision missile attack. Some missiles breached defenses and caused significant damage, the Israeli military stated. Explosions were heard in major cities, including Tel Aviv, Beersheba, and Ashkelon. Residents, in panic, fled to underground shelters, with air raid sirens blaring for nearly 45 minutes without interruption. Live broadcasts on local television showed large flashes of fire at multiple locations, presumed to be missile impact sites. According to the Israeli military, at least 68 ballistic missiles were launched simultaneously from Iranian territory, some equipped with dual warheads that automatically separated in the final phase of flight. The missiles were reportedly fitted with advanced navigation systems based on INS and GLONASS, making it difficult for Israeli radars to accurately calculate their trajectories. Iran has not issued official comments at the time of this publication, but Iranian state television broadcast footage of missile launches from various locations, stating that the attack was a direct response to Israel's military aggression against Iran's allies in the region. Defense analysts consider this the most significant wave of attacks by Iran against Israel since the conflict escalated in 2024, highlighting Iran's high level of strategic preparation and intelligence activity. The White House and several European countries expressed deep concern and called for immediate de-escalation, though no clear statements have come from Washington regarding whether this attack will alter the U.S. military stance in the region. The attack marks a new phase in the Middle East conflict, ongoing for over a year. Information on casualties and infrastructure damage is still being gathered. Iran's massive attack not only struck military targets and key infrastructure, but also targeted strategic figures in the Israeli government. The Ministry of Defense confirmed that Defense Minister Yoav Gallant was killed after a Baronak missile directly hit his convoy, penetrating air defenses in southern Tel Aviv. The incident occurred around 22:42 local time as Gallant was heading to an emergency headquarters under Israel's main military command. Preliminary reports indicate the convoy was supposed to have relocated 2 hours earlier as a security measure, but the missiles, equipped with high-precision guidance systems, quickly detected and locked onto the convoy's location. A military report states that the missile that struck was a Khaber Shikan, an Iranian medium-range ballistic missile with high maneuverability and a cluster munition warhead. The main warhead released 4 cluster munitions that dispersed within a 500-meter radius, triggering a chain explosion that destroyed the entire convoy. The armored vehicle carrying Gallant sustained direct damage on its right side and caught fire. Security personnel evacuated Gallant and 3 bodyguards, but they could not be saved. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu officially announced Gallant's death in a brief press conference less than an hour after the attack, calling it a blow to the heart of Israel's defense and vowing an appropriate response. Israeli intelligence services are investigating a possible leak of the convoy's coordinates, as its route was meant to be secret and variable. Internal sources suggest breaches in communication systems or satellite surveillance may have been exploited by Iran for precise targeting. Public reaction in Israel has been mixed. Some gathered outside the Ministry of Defense in Tel Aviv with flags and candles in tribute, while local media criticized the government's slow response to missile threats since the start of the year, pointing to shortcomings in modernizing missile defense systems, now appearing vulnerable to advanced technologies. State funerals for Gallant are scheduled within the next 24 hours, with attendance expected from senior officials and foreign representatives. The Israel Defense Forces remain on high alert, with air forces deployed in strategic areas and several military bases relocated to underground facilities. The government is preparing further steps, including the possibility of a large-scale retaliatory strike against Iran. Following the attack, which killed Gallant and damaged strategic infrastructure, Israel declared a state of emergency and convened a closed cabinet meeting in the Ministry of Defense's bunker. Netanyahu chaired the meeting, which focused on potential military responses and a reassessment of internal security readiness. Civilian life is paralyzed, with schools, offices, and public transport shut down, and many residents staying in shelters. Hospitals such as Sheba Medical Center and Ichilov Hospital have treated hundreds of wounded, many with injuries from metal shrapnel and secondary explosions. Some, including 2 children, are in critical condition. Netanyahu stated in a live broadcast that Israel will respond forcefully, asserting that the country retains full combat capability. The parliamentary opposition is questioning the effectiveness of defense and intelligence systems, demanding an independent investigation. Internationally, the U.S. evacuated non-essential personnel from its Tel Aviv embassy, and the UN Security Council called an emergency meeting. Public opinion in Israel is divided. Some demand a full military response, while others, traumatized by the ongoing conflict, question the effectiveness of military solutions for long-term security. Israel now faces a strategic crossroads. Global attention is focused on how it will respond, whether with a full-scale attack or limited actions. Military forces are on high alert, with fighter jets taking off and ground-to-ground missile systems repositioned. Foreign Minister Eli Cohen promised a proportional but lethal response, stating that Israel is no longer bound by previous strategic restraints. The U.S. called for restraint, but the Pentagon reportedly raised the alert level of some units, including the USS Eisenhower aircraft carrier, which is moving closer to the Persian Gulf. Iran warned that any retaliation would provoke a doubled response and deployed Bavar 3 air defense systems. Russia indirectly supported Iran's right to self-defense, while France and Germany advocate for diplomacy to avoid a full-scale conflict. Global markets reacted with a 9% surge in oil prices and sharp drops in European and Asian stock indices. Ben Gurion Airport remains closed, and airlines canceled flights to and from Israel indefinitely. Pressure on Netanyahu is mounting, with the opposition calling for a careful review of retaliatory measures. The next 24 to 48 hours will be critical in determining whether the conflict escalates into an open war between Iran and Israel.